and gentlemen, welcome to another wonderful evening here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. The one and the only, well, y'all see the R up in the corner. The one and the only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and that button that looks like this. Yeah, hit that button. Go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. And divulge yourselves into the live chat. This is a Scott Fishbowl SFB 11 Tupac West Side Division breakdown. And today with me, ladies and gentlemen, I have the one and the only Dr. Jesse Morse from the Fantasy Doctors. Let's go.
You get me hype, bro.
You know how we do, man. You know how we do, man. Hey, yo, first off, I just gotta say, bro, I'm gonna pour a shot because, we haven't worked together since 4 years ago.
It's been a couple of years, definitely.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years. I have grown since then. Remember, I was just a pup then. I was a kid, and now it's you, myself, and then the homie Dan Titus. We're the big dogs in the Tupac division. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, my brother.
Cheers.
And all the Fantasy Doctors crew that are watching this shot's for you. Bro, I've been following your content for a hot minute. If you don't mind shamelessly plugging the fuck out yourself right now, I mean, we've been doing this for a hot minute. We kind of came up in the same area. What's the journey been like since the last time we spoke 4 years ago, bro?
So I started with the Fantasy Doctors as I was finishing residency.
Yeah.
And I'm about to start my fellowship. And my fellowship was in Tampa. So I was taking care of the Blue Jays, the Phillies, a lot of the South Florida athletics. So I was busy as hell, but I was grinding and just getting the legit sports medicine doctor life, seeing them and seeing how they react to injuries and see how they rehab and figuring out what works for each player and then translating it over to, fantasy injuries and NFL injuries. And the ironic part is my former mentor, my former boss is now the team doc for the Bucks. I moved to Miami and he's the team doc for the Bucks. So, we don't have any inside information because that's taboo. But no, we've been grinding every year. We've been making beautiful growth, and this year has been fantastic. Last year was really impressive, and now we're about to do big things this year. I did a big team up with Fantasy Guru. I have a special edition of my draft guide for them. They have a massive fan base. So shout out to any of them that are watching. Check out that draft guide that is exclusive. There's a bunch of videos and a couple different articles that are only available within that. I spent most of the offseason, basically since January, working on my draft guide. It's 300 pages. It's probably got 120 videos. I mean, Mike and I have been grinding and just pouring over all these injuries and looking at different parameters and metrics and everything. And then I've been seeing some of these guys in my clinic too. So, we grinded out here.
Bro, and I respect the hell out of it. And bro, what I love is when you deliver your content, you make sure them Boston roots stay strong, dog.
You cannot see them, right?
And I appreciate the hell out of that, because us as content creators, make sure we never forget where we came from. And speaking of never forgetting where we came from, hey, the homie Bo said estimated recovery time for overweight 34-year-old who stubbed his pinky toe on a bed frame.
Probably broke it.
He said
that's a very painful injury.
He said I'm looking to milk a week out of it, hey, Bo, you gonna get a week out of it. I'm not the medical professional here.
Pick up something called a post-operative shoe. You can get them online for like $20.
Hey, we're gonna
It'll make your life less miserable. Let's put it that way.
Right. Hey, we're gonna get into some SFB Tupac division lineups. Before we get into that, while I get some things loaded up, like what made you join this division in the first fucking place? Like this division was cutthroat, but
I'm a hip hop head from the beginning. Like most people don't know that. Like some white dude, yeah. Like when I was 15, I was at the Up in Smoke tour. Way back when. I was at the recording, so you can imagine how much smoke was there. And I've never been a smoker. But
well, I am, so you know.
No, I'm just telling you. I'm back then I was, but not just it was never my thing. But then when I was 18, I got to see Wu-Tang live all on stage at once before ODB died. That was fire. And then I just been this upcoming weekend, I'm going to Rolling Loud here in Miami. It's going to be bananas. So I've always been a hip hop head. I do a lot of house too, a lot of EDM, but most of my content is hip hop. So I know I felt Tupac felt where I needed to be. Wu-Tang was a close second. But Tupac was one of the only people that I never got to see live just because he died before I was really ever old enough.
Have you ever like Tupac passed
96?
Yeah, 96. I was 6 years old. And I grew up listening to his music, right? So have you ever sipped Thug's Passion? I gotta ask. Like, have you ever?
Oh, back in the day, definitely.
Okay.
It's not my palate per se.
Yeah, I definitely I've definitely done it. Okay, I just had to ask.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was a little hood rat back in the day. I had the baggy jeans, the Jenkos, the Echo. I had it all. Tommy Hilfiger,
bro.
When it started, not now.
When Jenkos, Tommy Hilfiger, Major Damage, Guess jeans, like
I had the Wallabies. Remember the Wallabies?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I had those. Are the ugliest, but the most comfortable things on the planet.
Clearly we have dated ourselves here on this podcast.
Hey.
Welcome to the Rumboyz Fantasy Network.
People want to know why you chose the division you chose. Thank you, Fish, for inviting me back. This didn't exactly go according to plan in terms of my team, but
we're about to break down your team and never.
I felt like we had a very competitive division.
We had a very vicious division. I have one more question to loosen you up. I can already tell that you're ready to get into it. One more question surrounding Pac.
All right.
I used to live right around the corner from his grandmother. Like my mom and his grandma actually know each other.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro, mad fucking crazy, bro. It only makes sense. Our birthdays are 2 days apart.
Okay.
Bro, I gotta ask, what's your favorite Pac song? And then we're gonna get into your roster first, and then we're gonna get into everyone else. We're gonna get into your roster first. We'll save mine. But we're going to get your roster first, and then we're going to break down everyone else's. Your favorite Pac song, though?
So,
for the listeners,
one of my favorite songs of all time, regardless of artist, was "Dear Mama." It's always been. It just hits different. It's just one of those deep songs that you're just like, I can't quit it. And he has so many classics. Like you could just literally roll for hours, and you probably won't even hit the same song twice, but that one is probably on the top tier for me. How it's always been, how he wrote it, the sentimental value of it, what it means, what it insinuates. It's just when everybody knows that track. It's just one of those.
I'm with that, and I couldn't disagree with that. Even if I tried.
What you think? What yours?
For me, man, I grew up in Southeast DC, and I grew up battle rapping, right? So I'm sorry, but that hit him up.
Oh yeah, you want to create some drama? You put that on.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
And me and bro, you you like I said, we've worked together before. Like you've seen, what the brand has became, and I deal with haters and shit. So like when I deal with that, I put on that hit them up, and I'm like, I'm about to write an article and fuck the click you playing, Rumboyz, motherfucker, and I'm just ready. So
Oh, it gets you fired up. I
yeah,
mean, even some of the newer stuff that's been like played with, and
yeah.
it's still fire. You know what's an
Oh,
underrated track? Running.
oh, yeah. Oh, why did you tap into my mind? Like,
Woo!
did you just do a Professor X? Like, did you just pull an X Men?
That
Did you just
track
pull
is
X Men?
that one you hear, you're like, wow.
Why am I dying to live if I'm just living? Like the fact that and here's the thing, that's not the first time that what's the homie Matt McDonald has been sampled.
Mm.
He's been sampled multiple times in hip hop.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people that don't get the credit. Kanye
Oh
pulls
yeah.
stuff all the time. He'll pull OG stuff that you never heard of, and you don't know the original, but you just know it from one of the new ones.
You do realize that as per your brand, you're blowing everyone's mind with your music knowledge. Like you're taking people back to the I can't forget when
Oh,
I'm in love anymore. Bro, did you know that Regulators was a sample of that fucking that funk track, like that old school?
oh yeah, that stuff was classic, man. I mean, I love. I'm telling you, I'm a hip hop head. I've always been a hip hop head. I mean, I still remember Domino's sweet potato pie.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Right? Like,
bro, really quick, before we post your lineup on the screen, you do know that when good hot anticipated new school hip hop albums drop, the homie we try and coordinate it, we try and make it happen, but it's Who's from Sleeper Wire, Real Deal HQ from the Real Deal HQ, Troy and Michael Florio, and then Jay Bass from For the Love of Sundays. Bro, if you ever see us on a Twitter space and you want to hop in on those hip hop conversations, we do not just do the fantasy shit. Like if you ever, I would love your perspective on music because I've never got to know the side of you, bro,
no,
and
I
I've
know
known you for
most people don't.
years.
Most people don't.
But
But
we're gonna get into the fantasy. But if you ever want to hop into those breakdowns, like just for the fuck of it, like I got some time between operations, dude. If you our J. Cole album breakdown was crazy.
that album was solid. He's one of those when I saw him in Chicago when he was just coming up, and
In
he
2010, right? 2010.
might have been.
Yeah,
It was that was it Hard Rock? It was like it was downtown, I remember.
bro.
And
I
it was
saw
at
him in
like a
Virginia.
smaller venue. But that was like when he was just coming out, and he was fire then. And he's got to be one of the only hip hop artists that actually got a college degree.
Yeah,
Like, oh
yeah.
yeah. Like there may be a couple more, but there's not many.
Fuck no.
That doesn't change anything. It's just fascinating.
No, it is, man. Just so you know, we became friends deeper than ever before. So bro, let's go ahead. Let's get into some lineups because I know that this is what both you and I do. You do the injury stuff. I do the film stuff for the fans. Are you okay with me starting off with your lineup, or do you want me to
Go
start
ahead,
off with
let's
someone
go.
else?
I'm ready.
He's like, I don't give a fuck, bro.
So I'll start preface it with this. How did I prep for this? So first of all, I had some projections that were given to me. I won't tell you whose they were, but and what I did was I literally took the top 140 players or so, and I took the projections and broke down each one in this specific scoring format. And then I ranked them. I removed the guys that I didn't want to draft. Or I didn't remove them, but I kind of X'd them off my list. I just didn't have them highlighted. And then I used that as a reference. And I kind of had I had potential, but when it gets tricky, and we'll see in a sec, is that the when you look at the breakdown, the tight end scoring is so intense, and the cliff is so far from 1 to 2 and 3 that I was like, I can't not target a tight end high. I knew that had to be,
I mean, you and I have been playing fantasy long enough to where we know how to be watered. And when I look at your draft, I see someone that took advantage of what they could when they could have. Like, you got Mike Davis. You knew damn well that I wanted fucking Mike Davis, bro.
I was settling. I missed every running back that I was trying to get.
Bro, you got the one running back that I was gunning for, But then you also turn around and you snatch up a Robert Tonyan, who I was gunning for. That's just on your roster. I'm gonna point out throughout this special, just so you know, I'm gonna point out how many times I got sniped, and it's because of my big ass fucking mouth.
I didn't follow anybody's stuff. I was just pulling who I wanted.
Bro,
or who
I
followed
already
me.
know. I already know who the fuck followed my stuff because I saw who followed my stuff, and I know that it wasn't you. I know for a fact that it wasn't you. You came to the table and you played your big guns. You and Dan.
Dan had a monster.
Go.
Dan's team is scary.
We're gonna get into his shit in a minute.
Dan's team is scary.
He was on the show last Friday,
also
right?
had a monster team. I forgot his name.
Claire,
like
bro, we're about to show a lot of love, man. You're. Am I allowed to do surgery right now? I mean, you're the doctor, right?
So do me a favor and share something for me real quick. I want to show you. I want to show you how I have it set up.
Yeah. Go ahead and let me get your screen. Here, I'll stop screen sharing. Bow.
Okay. God, you just got to hit the button or however I do it. Hold on. Where is it?
Bang. Yep. Oh shit. JT is up in here.
What's
Hey,
up?
yo. What up, JT?
How's it going, guys?
Hey, what's going on?
Hold on. We're about to get Jesse's screen shared here because we're about to go through Jesse's algorithm of how he picked this team. There it goes.
Hold on, I gotta find it. I just had it up.
No, you're good. You're good, man.
It's right here. Yeah. So, can you all see this?
I'm about to see it before I even put it up on the. I see it before I even put it up on the screen, and that's wild.
So this is my crazy sheet. So if you look here in the middle, I broke down the top 5 at the position by projections. Okay, this is specifically for Scott Fish Bowl scoring for the projections I had. This number right here was the difference between number 1 and number 5. So QB1 and QB5 weren't that much different. 57. It's not. I mean, it's a big, but it's not that big. 1 and 5 for running back. 28. That's pretty negligible. Wide receiver, 34. Kicker, 28. Tight end, 191. How do you not target Kelsey? I was like, that's such a cliff.
Well, it depends on. It also depends on fantasy football psychology, Doc, and you and I, we both know this. You know, bro, come on, man. You know me. I'm always gonna go running back heavy. Like, that I'm gonna reach and I'm gonna do what I do. And that's where I got off with getting Derrick Henry. You're right. Like, I should have probably at the 4 spot grabbed Kelsey.
I mean,
and I
get
didn't.
Yes,
and I didn't.
I mean, because if you look, these are the picks right here. So if you look, I mean, all of the main running backs were pretty much gone within the first 2 rounds. And these were their projections, not mine. The projection system I was using. So, but it was crazy because the wide receivers just kept falling. And like,
I kept hammering
if Rodgers doesn't go back to Green Bay, my team is screwed. I'm just gonna say that. but because I have way too much love for Green Bay just because of how it played out. But
we'll go back and show your overall team in a minute. But yeah.
Whew. But I mean, Devontae at 3.8.
Oh man, that's crazy.
I mean, so like, all right.
Yeah, if
Jesse,
Rogers is in town, Devontae's first round, right?
Jesse, I'm gonna be honest. All right, I was pissed off at the fucking Mike Davis pick because because you selected him right when I was about to grab him. What?
That was 7th round right here, 708.
Yeah, but I did like I did not when I saw the overall standings today. I ain't going front. Before the overall standings, I was roasting the fuck out of your QB situation with that Carson Wentz, Taysom Hill, Justin Fields shit.
So I actually had who was it? It was either Burrow or somebody in this range lined up. So it was either Burrow or someone, and they went. So everybody I had was gone. So I had to settle.
And that's how Phil. I remember Phil specifically, like being your only probable option, like at QB at that given round. What was it? That was that the fourth? That was the fourth, right?
That was the mid fourth. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and at that point, it was Derek Carr, it was Baker, Fitzpatrick, Jones. Like most of the top quarterbacks were gone.
Yeah, nobody wants Jones. I mean, I know. I took Kirk Cousins. I think I took Kirk Cousins right before you.
The first pick before me. That's where I was going to pick. I was going to pick Kirk Cousins, and I'm like, so literally everybody I have besides Carr is gone. Like above Fields.
Because I had forced your hands. So this is where poker comes in. Because I had forced your hand there. You came back to bite me on the ass, knowing that I'm fucking running back heavy, and you go fucking Mike Davis. You know, like we got JT here, so I mean, we got to get into JT's lineup, right? I mean, you know, because JT's strategy was mad fucking weird.
Yeah, it was. There wasn't a lot of thought put into it.
Well, but
I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
Well, JT, like as I'm about to load up your roster, bro, like. Competing against fucking Jesse was already enough. Like for me, like competing against Jesse and Dan was already enough for me. And then having one of my own writers, like fuck Anthony. All right, Anthony's just a dick all around. And we're just gonna classify that as a Tupac week. Can we all agree on that? Can we all just agree that Anthony's the division dick? Like fuck Anthony. All right, because he already knew everything that I was thinking, and that's not fair.
There wasn't a ton of value that slipped. I mean,
nope.
It went a different direction. I guess all of them went a little bit of a different direction, but I didn't think there was any screaming value very often.
Here, Doc, do you want to pull up JT's team, or do you want me to do it?
Right here.
Okay, go. Really quick, everyone. Dr. Jesse Morris knows how to work the RotoGrinder site way better than I do. So tonight's production is brought to you by the Fantasy Doctors.
If you'll notice, round 14.
YouTube channel.
Yeah,
right.
This site is beautiful. They did a great job on this.
Yeah, bro. So what I love is like the only way to do 4 quarterbacks is the way that you did it, JT. Like that's kind of realistically the only way to do it. Like I would have preferred, you know, maybe you get Cam to like package it with Mac, right? But like that's the way you do 4 QBs is to grab Watson like dumb late.
Man,
I would have picked Mac Jones if you didn't take him.
I did not have a full plan. My slot plan was I wanted a tight end, and I wanted to wait on QB just simply because it was going to zig, you know, a little bit when everybody else was.
So what was your first pick?
It's my least favorite pick, probably Saquon. It you know, it was him. I think Kamara was still on the board. I don't know really. I was just, if it gets right, who can win? You know, who can win one? And so I went there knowing that I was hoping one of the tight ends got back, and then I was, you know, just going to watch what you guys did at quarterback and jump in when I had to, but was planning to pound receiver like I did.
So at that pick,
I mean, you play. Or go ahead and I'll get into some more analytics really quick.
So CMC was gone, Cook was gone, Henry was gone, and then
Zeke and Kamara were still there. Zeke lasted until like a third of the way through the second.
Yeah. So and then Barkley, you took Barkley as the what did I say, fourth running back.
And really quick, I want to point that JT is one of the fans that is competing in the SFB. He did apply as a fan. Now, based off of his draft and his ranking, which I will divulge once Jesse is breaking this down, I don't know if he's a fan. Continue, Jesse.
Yeah,
and I'll say why.
So, knowing what I know about injuries, your first two picks scare the hell out of me. But if anybody come back from a torn ACL and look semi-normal, it's Saquon. I just don't think they're going to give him the volume, and for first year off ACL, it scares the hell out of me. So I get it. If you're looking for a home run, it makes sense, 100%. It's just a little too risky for me. So that's why he's
what I feel, analyst the fan is you got Kittle and you did well by shoring that up with enough back end tight ends that can fill in for Kittle. We already know that Kittle is not going to play all goddamn 17 games. All right, let's stop at 5. Let's sign in and play those games. Let's just keep it 100 with each other, okay? Okay, I'm glad that we had that conversation. Doc, am I wrong?
Unfortunately, I don't think you are, and that's until he proves to me that he can play a full gamut of games. I can't rank him as the number 2.
Exactly.
When he's on the field, he's a monster. There's no question. There's a chance he has higher upside than Kelsey, but now he's got more competition, and he hasn't been able to stay healthy. They're fluky injuries. I get it. They're fluky injuries, but they're injuries.
But what makes me believe that when you are drafting a guy like Kittle, you're preparing for the next for someone to fill in. So I like that you grabbed Everett late.
Mm-hmm.
That Chris Herndon shit, we already know 4 years on there. I ain't never rocking with that. That's never going to be a thing. Just like my Joe Mixon takes. All right.
Well,
now
I'll say this: I typically go in, too safe to draft. I'm always trying to optimize.
Yeah.
To beat 2000, to win this thing, you're going to have to everything's going to have to line up.
Yeah. To win this thing, you're going to have a combination of different strategies. Let's just point that out first off.
So I need both those guys to stay healthy when they've never done it. Obviously, what are you going to do? I'm trying to win a 2,000 person tournament.
You're so strong at receiver. That's your saving grace. And then you also have my homie Garrett Dokes. Late. like if y'all don't see the most shiftiest motherfucker that you have seen since goddamn Booby Miles. Y'all get the comedy, you want to pick up on the joke. All right, well that's y'all's fault at home.
I got you.
He's shifty as Booby Miles. Let him spin, coach. Put me in the game, coach. Just let him play. And Garrett Dokes gonna do that. He's a washing machine, and I'm ready to see the washing machine spin.
Man, it was pretty wild. Like I said,
and that Darrell Henderson shit.
Yeah, that just fell into your lap.
Step 1 complete.
That fell into your lap.
I had to find running backs, and I had to find QBs that outperform where they were getting drafted. So
yep.
You have the most low key. It could work, but it could definitely not.
Oh, it could burn down. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, you could ease if Deshaun happens to play.
Yeah, that's a lot of those picks are at
when Lance plays. Okay.
2 years ago, I just
Hey,
Sean's probably 85% not going to play, right? 95%. But 2 years ago in best ball, I just hammered Tyreek in the last round every time. Everybody was so sure he was done. He shows up week 1 or no suspension and just crushes all year.
JT, I gotta admit, you hit that sniper shit right away.
I was actually targeting him, but you got to him before I did.
It might be
like the second you pulled Justin Jefferson, that's the second that shit went downhill.
I took him over I took him over AJ Brown and a couple other people. I don't like I said, it was just like, who can end up number one at their position. And I just took some shots, man. I did not prepare well enough for this. As excited as I was for it.
Jesse, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I know you said you were about to say something. What were you about to say, brother?
I'm curious to see. Well, so we know Diggs is a monster. There's no question there. Jefferson has monster potential. And I think they're going to throw more of this. If you look at their first 6-game schedule, they are going to eat people alive. This could get off really well for you. A-Rob, once, Dalton's not awful, but once Trey Lance is in there, Fields is in there. I had a Bears guy in my office the other day, and he was telling me that Fields is everything we think he is. They were like, this kid is unbelievable. He was doing things.
He makes all the throws. Yeah.
He was like, okay, and this is his teammate. So it's like, this isn't for media. He was just being real with me. So I'm excited to see how this is going to play out.
I was sure after the college playoffs, he was the number 2 pick.
Now that you said that, Jesse, I'm now about to fucking personally text all my Bears sources. I'm so happy you brought that up. So it sounds like that things could be looking up right for them, right?
I think I wouldn't be surprised if he plays by week 5 or week 6. But not injury withstanding. Love Zach Moss. I think he could be sneaky this year, especially with how many freaking points they score. Parker, nobody's even paying attention to Parker.
I'm about to piss everyone off. So everyone knows I played semi-pro ball all the way up to 28. And wide receiver is my favorite position to break down. That fucking Devontae Parker pick is dumb, sneaky, dog.
I was looking at him at around 10 and I kept going, he probably won't make it back, and he kept slipping, and I couldn't.
That's my fault. That's my fault as a film guy. Honestly, competing against some of the competition that I was competing against, I'll admit where I got my ass handed to me.
Well, the problem is he's got a lot of competition this year.
He does. I thought both him and Brown, right, 12 and 13, have a chance to be their team's one. And
Jesse, I'm be honest, bro. From a fantasy football standpoint, I don't know what other leagues in SFB you've been in, but I've been in a lot of SFB, and you've been in a lot of SFB.
This is my second one.
This your second one? So this is my third or fourth one. This is my fourth one. This is the hardest fucking SFB that I've ever been in, bro. I got it. So we talked about Doc's team. We talked about excuse me.
So this might be the year that Herndon breaks out.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Jesse, why the fuck? No,
I'm going to show you something real quick that I have for my subscribers.
Well, because I want to get into dance team really quick. Because I want to fucking go at dance team really quick.
All right. You see how these are in blue? These are breakout years.
You mind zooming?
25.
See it? I don't know if it's.
I can see it. I can see it. I'm just like.
So these are breakout years. These are from Tags' article that came out last week.
All right.
So 25 to 29 is breakout years. Herndon is 25.
I'm not commenting.
And you'll notice all of the people that are super hype.
I'm seeing Herndon, Ian, Thomas. I know.
Those are just ages. Those are just ages. That doesn't correlate with anything special. These are just the ages of the people, and they're in that bracket.
And it's the age where everybody gives up on them.
Yep. Well, because tight end, in my opinion, is the hardest transition. Besides quarterback's a special thing, but tight end is hard to transition from college. It's
That's what they
really
say.
hard.
But that's why tight end premium is a handicap, because you know that 3 teams are going to go for those big people. And if they lose out on it, they lose out on it. So you've already X'd out.
Did you guys
lose out on it?
Did you guys request a draft position?
Yes.
Well, I did it because I just fill out paperwork religiously. That's the form of military me. I was like, have it.
You did or did not?
I did. I did.
Did you get what you requested?
Yeah, I got the 4. I got the Tupac division. They're like, who do you want to compete against? And I didn't get that part, but
I didn't put anybody in there when they asked that, but I got the number in the division.
I didn't request a number. That's the only thing I regret. I was just so excited to be in. I think I was just jacked, and I was like, give me anything. And the reversal kind of threw me. I was like, I kind of like 12, but the only regret really is to get early enough to get Kelsey for what I wanted to do.
I loved what I did with my draft. Doc, should we? I was trying to save my team for the end because that seemed like super selfish to bring my team up. I really wanted to get into Dan's team first. Should we go ahead and get into mine though?
Whatever, I got his right here.
Let's go Dan's first. I really want to go Dan's first. Dan's the homie.
Yeah, so Dan has some. If there's not many things need to go right for his team to have a really good year.
That's a nice wrap.
He went Lamar, Kamara, Hurts, AJ Brown, Swift, Gaskin, Lockett, Sutton, Claypool, Gus Edwards, Higbee, Pollard, Hooper, and then he's got a couple sneaky guys back there.
I feel like he did the typical fucking fantasy pro shit. Honestly, we've all been in the industry long enough, to where we played against these guys. And Dan was on the show last week.
So
He did what, honestly, Dan did what I expected Dan to do. Dan did not do anything that was just like I did what I expected me to do. But I love Dan's team, and I'm afraid to fucking play against him, bro.
Can he sit on that 22? Can he sit on that 22-12 and pick somebody up whenever he wants?
I forgot how it works. I think he has to add someone off the wire in a bid.
Oh, he has to bid. I didn't read all the way through it, but the way I read it, I thought he could just go grab somebody. The clock was off, and I was like, "That's a pro move. Just sit on it and wait for news to break."
No, I mean that wouldn't be a bad idea, but I think he has to bid. It has to go through a process.
Let me just say, I know that this is one of the people for a motherfucking fact, because I saw their name pop up in the live chat, that watched my content and then made a pick. And it was the most gut-wrenching feeling. Because I was talking shit. I was talking big cash shit. And it would be such a disrespect to not say this, what I said on air. I was like, I'm going to whoop all my league mates. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. And I'm going to still whip your ass. And then Dan goes, here's AJ Brown. And then Dan comes on Rumboyz After Dark last week, like the gentleman that he is, because he's such a fine pirate. And it crushed me, okay? It crushed and it fucking sucked. That shit was heartbreaking. Hey, y'all, JT, you getting Justin Jefferson, Dan getting AJ Brown. Y'all crippled me from that point on. I'm not going to lie.
Let's see your team.
When you see my team, you'll see why. There was a potential that those were going to fall to me had y'all not been thinking about that.
So you quote unquote settled for Thielen, Godwin, Cooks, Gage.
Bro, I fucked myself so bad after Dan did what he did. Dan fucked me 6 different ways on Sunday. When Dan sniped AJ Brown, I couldn't take Julio because of the injury risk. I don't want to deal with that. Now that's my wide receiver 1. I already know I'm dealing with the old option at this point because JJ is gone. AJ is gone. It's either Julio or Thielen.
So the only guy you
I
could
took
have went.
Thielen. I took Thielen.
So you could have. So you could have went F1 McLaurin. You
But
could
then I
have
don't get
went
my stack.
and you. So Jamar Chase, depending on how you feel about him.
He don't wash his ass. I'm kidding.
DJ Moore, you could have went, and you ended up going Godwin the next round.
Yep.
I love Devonta Smith. I love
Devontae Smith. I wasn't one to pull the trigger.
I get it. I mean, I stole him in round 8.
Like, I'm such an NFL purist. Like, I love the game for what it is, to where I won't cave in just because, like until I went ahead and I went Thielen, and I was like, you know what, you're still serviceable. You're still doing your thing.
So the thing about Thielen is that
it was a bad pick. It was a fucking shitty pick, Jesse.
Well, but Cousins he has Cousins' confidence, and he is a end zone monster. So if you have a Cousins to Thielen stack indirectly,
and I have it, yeah,
you're gonna win every single time they score. And I think they had 12 last year. And even though that sounds high in TDs or quote unquote fluky, there are certain guys that just are notorious for getting touchdowns, and then you have Julio, who's like allergic to touchdowns. It's like, but that may change this year. But so I love the J-Rob pick. I'm curious to see how that offense plays out.
He's like, damn, look at these guys. Yeah, I know it's bad. It's bad.
I'm a little concerned about Logan Thomas. I don't think the targets are going to be there. His age declines about to start.
Really quick, what happened with that Logan Thomas pick? That was queued up, right? Like, he wasn't queued up. I had the tight end that you have as your tight end too, and Bob Tonyan. And I ended up with fucking Logan Thomas. I don't know how it glitched. It didn't give me what I wanted. And I was like, I'm not bitching.
Oh, so you actually wanted Tonyan.
Oh, dude, yeah. All right. So Tonyan. All right. So Jesse, you worked on football players or basketball players. Like, Tonyan elevates to the highest point, to the highest reach of the play, like a fucking power forward, bro. Like, he reminds me so much of the Kevin Garnett of football, the way that he goes up and catches up. Watch fucking KG for the Celtics. Like, when Paul Pierce is fucking lobbing him a fucking pass, and watch KG go up and catch it at the highest point and then slam it in. Tell me that's not fucking Tonyan. Tell me it's not identical. It is so Antonio Gates that it's fucking out of your mind, bro.
I mean, the thing about Tonyan is that I feel like there's negative regression coming for his touchdowns, and I feel
I don't believe so, because Jordan Love steps in. The rookie quarterback's best friend is a tight end.
I mean, I think a lot of it because he doesn't get a lot of targets, so that's the question.
Yeah, he's got touchdown regression coming even with Aaron Rodgers, but
if the system didn't fucking glitch, like if I would have had fucking Tyne on my team, I would have been so much more happier, but it's okay. I got Logan Thomas. I got a homer. I'm a Washington football team fan. It's fine. Fitzpatrick's not going to hit the tight end, so I'm automatically fucked right there. Like, that's just gameplay, bro. It happened. It was what it was. It is what it is. Like, I wanted Tonyan right there, though, not fucking Thomas. And that's straight up. Like,
I mean, those guys are so close for me that I have them a little bit higher, but like, look, the projections had Tonyan at 202, and the 5 guys below him were all within 12 points. It's like, it's not a big deal,
to me, it is. The athleticism is, to me, what's a big deal.
But look at Cliff from Kelsey at 393, at least by these projections, to Kittle at 329, and then you got Waller and Andrews at 277, and then Tanyan is the next one. He's 202.
Yeah,
That's enormous.
Yeah.
Yep. That's. I wish I would have requested top 4, top 5 to get a better shot at Kelsey.
I honestly didn't think about.
I just knew that's what I was going to do.
And then I looked and I'm like,
but it goes back into what I said at the beginning of the show. Like, I mean, I can make up points in other positions to make myself worthy. You know, like there's someone right now in SFB that picked fucking Cam Akers and that's shitting the bed, and we should probably talk about that person right now, Jesse. Who drafted Cam?
Let's see.
Oh my god, that was so fucked up for me to segue into that, huh?
I don't know who it was, but I can find out real quick.
No, I was gonna get on the thread today and talk shit about Henderson, but I didn't want to get dragged.
In our group chat,
3-7.
3-7, yeah.
Yeah, 3-7, yeah.
So 3-7. Hold on. So that would be. Does it go by that? 1, 2. No, it doesn't go by that. I don't know who it was then. Hold on. I'll just go one by one.
Neil Clock Dodgers.
Oh shit! Oh yep, it is Clock.
Oh yeah, that's who it was. Yep, because I remember seeing it in my thing today.
Hey, I'm gonna take a shot for his fucking lineup.
Yeah. Well, so he kind of covered himself. He actually is gonna be all right because he's got Dalvin, who I have my theories about, but I think he's still monster talent. He's got Jacobs right behind him. You know, his running back depth after that gets really thin. He's got Dillon, he's got Latavius Murray, he's got Tevin Coleman, he's got McKinnon.
I remember now. I was at 7 and he was on the clock at 6, and I was stoked that Dalvin was still there. And then I kind of tilted a little bit, and like I said, ended up going Saquon, and then realized, started watching everybody else's drafts and seeing Saquon going 2-4, 2-5. So I think that's what gave me the regret over the Kelsey. I could have gone Kelsey running back just as easily as Saquon Kittle, but yeah, I remember just watching the phone, hoping he didn't go Dalvin at 6.
Yeah, I mean, for me, and here's my 2 cents on Dalvin. I haven't personally evaluated him. He does train around here though. If you look at his injury history, he's had at least 3 shoulder dislocations and at least 2 shoulder repairs, whether they were labor repairs or rotator cuff. We don't have details, but that's the injury that's bothered him the most over the past couple of years. But don't forget about his ACL. Then you got to remember that over the past 2 years, Derrick Henry has the highest volume, and it's really not close. But the guy closest to him is Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
So he's got wear and tear on his body. There was a hard, I think it was released a chart today of all the top 10 guys with all their volumes. And they were all pretty comparable except for Zeke. Zeke was on a different planet. But
I think I saw that.
I feel like the Vikings need to be smart with Dalvin this year, or they're going to see a cliff in the next year or two, and they're going to be caught holding the bag.
Doc, am I interpreting your analysis wrong surrounding Dalvin? What you've educated me over the past years is that there are ways I can pivot around that and still mathematically get points off of someone more stable. Am I wrong for interpreting that data or no? Or is that just my own interpretation that just so happens to work for myself?
So in regard, explain more so I can make sure I understand you.
So there have been years where I watch a show and I'm in the first round, sitting at that, and we'll go typical 1 quarterback leagues, right? Back in the day when I was in my home leagues, and I'm sitting between Dalvin or Henry, and go Henry because based off what you told me, I could probably get more stability.
So
Like,
if you look, I've poured over all these guys' injuries. I wrote
we all know that none of us are ever right 100% of the time.
No, I mean, there's no way to project. There's no crystal ball. But you go by for me, it's a combination of talent. Obviously, there's some luck involved, risk, history, and playmakers, and there's a couple things that you just can't control, But I feel like there is certain people that have elevated risk, and that's what my goal, or at least what I'm trying to do, is help to quantify that risk. And that's basically what I do is I put a risk score on each player. And that's what I did in my draft guide. And it's based on all of these variables, all these factors, different lower extremity injuries. How bad is their offensive line? How is their schedule? Where do they fall on the team? How good is their backup? There's a lot of variables. Have they dealt with this injury before?
You're on the clock after McCaffrey. Which running back are you taking?
So if you see my screen, you can see the yellow players that I have highlighted for running backs. Those were my targets. You can see who's not highlighted. Dalvin is not highlighted. Neither is Saquon, Mixon, Akers, Carson, Chubb, Dobbins, Mostert. They're not highlighted because
is RB2.
So you'll have 0 Dalvin shares, 0 Saquon shares?
Correct.
I'm not having any fucking Saquon shares. Fuck that.
For me, he's too risky per se for where you have to buy him. If he was in the third round, he'd be a steal.
Yeah.
But you're not getting him in the third round.
Nope.
You have to pay up because of his name.
Yep.
So for me, I will pay capital someone who's safer, may not have his home run potential, but at the same time, maybe a little bit safer. And at that capital, it's hard to win a league if your first or second round pick loses a ton of games.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I agree.
But it's a lot harder. Baseball is a different monster. You can't compare these two leagues.
If I'm drafting my home league tomorrow, I'm not taking Saquon. Like I said, it's a 2,000 person field. I was
of course, you're trying to hit a home run. You need everything to line up beautifully.
Sure, but I'm probably not going to have any shares until we get a lot closer to camp and there's something different being said.
Hey, yo, JT, really quick. I actually had 2 questions for you. First question, are you going to Canton? Second question, you get to pick the next lineup out of our division that we're going to break down, a lineup that we haven't broken down already. So who will it be? So, yeah.
No, I'm not going to Canton. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to do. I've got a couple little kids and we're booking, but
I appreciate that. Is beautiful.
Hit Phil. In real time, I felt like he was drafting a good team. And top one, Jason Filt at the top.
Okay, Jason.
Yeah. In real time, I felt like he was making some good picks, but I haven't poured over him. So that's probably why Rodgers, right? Like I think in anything that's being drafted right now, all of the Packers are the best values. Devonta in the late third, get out of here. I mean, Devonta.
So while that lineup gets pulled, I just want to state that he played probably the best psychological game out of the whole division. Because he was ready to hit. He was ready to throw a haymaker at any time. I mean,
he got a couple guys for me that I wanted.
Yeah, me too.
Bro,
he was
his sniper game was crazy.
So he started with, it's on the screen now, but he started with Josh Allen at 1-2, came back with Rodgers at 2-11.
Yep.
Then came back. Then on the reverse went Ridley, DK, got Carson, Julio, and then Higgins.
I like that a lot.
So he's got 2 elite.
Well, hell yeah.
He's got 2 elite quarterback ones, assuming Rodgers plays. I don't have any reason why he would give up 20-something million. He's got a reliable running back, 2, we'll call him, high-end one, low-end one, as long as his hip holds up.
He needs to.
Julio has the potential to be a 1. We know that. Which is the question is, can he be?
Yeah.
Higgins, I mean, this offense is
But
going
in fantasy, as deep as you are a receiver, all you need is a shit ton of 2s. As long as you balance out scoring wise at the other positions, like cool.
And then then he's got 5 tight ends. He's got Fant, Gesicki, a guy I love, and Troutman.
Yep.
And then he's got Mo Alley Cox, who's sneaky. And then Tebow, hey, you don't blame him. Even if he scores a touchdown, I think it'll be a good. He will. He'll be good. And then he's got
that's your last pick too. At that, like
correct. Then he's got Waddle, who's like stupid underrated. He's got Mike Williams, who is word on the street is gonna play the Mike Thomas role.
I don't believe that shit for a second. And Justin, you know that. You know.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. He's got the talent to do it.
He don't have fast enough hands off the line, bro.
I mean, and then he's got Aguilar, who's a burner.
Yeah,
and he's got. So, I took care of a Raider last week. Must have been last week. And we were talking about the offense. And he said, there's a couple things that I saw in OTAs that I was really surprised about.
Mm-hmm.
He said the best wide receiver right now is Brian Edwards. And he said,
I'm not surprised by that at all.
Somebody else say that.
Stud. And he's like, Ruggs is stupid fast. We know that. But Edwards just catches everything and he uses his body beautifully.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, no. I mean, that's what I said during his scouting profile when before Corona hit. I was getting ready to go out for my second tour of the NFLPA Rookie Premiere, and no, I mean, you saying that kind of solidifies everything I wrote in his profile and wrote in his folder. Do I expect that Brian Edwards will be a breakout? Yes.
He could be. A lot of these guys take time. It takes time for them to develop. And he had injuries last year.
Yeah.
But the other thing that this player told me that I'm not really surprised about, but when I heard it, it made sense, especially when they signed him, is that Kenyon Drake is running routes.
Routes, yeah.
Like routes. So I'm like,
And I know for a fact that we do not have the exact same source, so
no. Well, unless you're talking to players,
yeah, exactly.
Unless you're talking to players, but
no. I mean, well, I do. I know, and I do. But I know for a fact that it's not the same source. I've been hearing that same thing.
Yeah. So,
there are some secrets fantasy wise with that Raiders organization as a whole that. They might be fuck fantasy. They might be more ready to compete than what we're willing to admit.
I think it'll be cool. I'm excited to see how they play out this year.
There's a lot of pieces that I mean, Henry Ruggs was on one of my championship winning rosters last year, and I won a championship because he had just so happened to give me a score, just so happened to give me a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so
and if you look at this roster, if anything happens to Miles Sanders, Gainwell is pretty nasty. You know what's crazy? Have you seen the roster that was at Memphis a couple years ago?
Bro, yes. Bro, have you seen what the Memphis backs have done when their primary backs go down? We already know what Antonio Gibson's going to do. But then when Tony Pollard comes in, when Zeke ain't doing well, and bro.
They got Gainwell. Then they had one other guy. I forgot who it was.
It is some Penny Hardaway shit. And I know I dated myself with that tape.
Henderson, right?
Memphis.
Yeah, Henderson. That's where it was. Darrell. So it's like,
yep.
Really?
Yep.
Memphis? They're basketball. They're not football.
Yeah, Memphis right now, I know they're known for the basketball.
Yeah.
But they are on their football shit right now.
Yep. They definitely.
Hey, I'm going to tell y'all, Penny switch from shooting to point. We got some players on switch from receiver to running back.
Yeah, I mean, an athlete's an athlete.
An athlete's an athlete, and that Memphis program, that Memphis school.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank. They know how to breed hybrids. They know how to breed players.
And
not skill position, but players.
So here's my injury draft guide real quick. Hold on, let me show you something. So rookies, running backs, Gainwell. So here's my profile real quick. So
by the way, y'all have to pay for this draft guide. We're showing you something.
It's only $20, but
yeah, but we're showing you something. Yeah.
All the videos. This is what you get, but I have it in the new one is in a format on our website, so it's easier. This is a PDF. But so look, dual threat in high school, 3,600 yards passing, 32 touchdowns, and then he had 4,700 rushing yards and 75 touchdowns in high school as a running back. As like a running that he 3-star, but that was only a 3-star recruit. And then he decided, hey, let's be a running back. And then he redshirted because of all the talent there. And then when Tony Pollard and Darrell Henderson came to the NFL, he started over Antonio Gibson, who was a wide receiver. We know that.
Yep.
You know, and then he averaged 6.3 yards per carry. And he's at 5'8", 201 and runs a 4.4.
And what's crazy is each and every fucking single one of these players, despite how versatile they all were, why no one has done an article about just the Memphis development as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
We're all fucking up. We're all fucking up as reporters. Don't worry. I'm going to drop an article tomorrow.
They know down here in the South, I promise you, they went out and paid that coach a year or two ago. There were some big programs after him.
But that program is doing it like we're seeing it evidently with football. They're doing it so around it, and it's so scary. Like just what that school has done in football. Like I interviewed Tony Pollard. I got to meet and I got to get into that mind and so. When him and I even when we were on camera and you see it in an interview, he was like, I didn't realize you saw those things in my game. You know, yeah, bro, I see these things in your game. And then we got off of camera. Like, Memphis is different. They breed a completely different. I know this is not a Memphis fucking University podcast, but like,
I grew up pretty close to there.
Jesse. See, JT, you already know. You know from you viewing it as a fan, Jesse. I don't know if you worked on Memphis players or not.
I haven't.
But I know that you see these guys and what you just showed in your draft guide. This is evident, and they're low risk injury because they're working all their different switch muscles. They're quick switch muscles.
Yeah, a lot of them don't get a lot of volume.
Yeah, that's right.
Like in terms of
super low
years and years, so they don't get that Oklahoma volume. You know, they're not getting like Alabama's special. They don't get a whole lot of volume.
Doesn't Gibson have like 30-something career?
Yo, you remember
carries or something crazy?
Yeah, 33.
Remember
33.
Like remember when Eric Dickerson came at SMU, like that was like the first time like any of us gave a fuck about SMU. You know, like it's something about these lower school guys. I'm just saying, follow the trend, people.
So this roster has some scary potential here. This club CLEVTA.
Oh yeah.
So I was talking to that Raiders player. I was talking to him, and we were talking about Waller, and he told me the most awesome story, and I never heard, and I don't know if it's ever been talked about. But it's not like
his album.
No. It's about Waller and how it happened. So the Raiders were playing the Ravens.
Yep.
Okay. Waller had been suspended by the Ravens 2 consecutive years due to alcohol.
Because his mental health. Yeah.
Correct. So he was not on good terms with Baltimore. Gruden saw him on the field with Baltimore, running routes, catching the ball, and he goes, I want him.
Yep.
He's like, we're not leaving until he's with us.
He's with us.
He flew back to Vegas. Well, it was Oakland at the time with Waller.
Like in a game week?
So
they were playing each other.
Yeah. That's
After
why
when
it's
they
awesome.
left with him.
They got him in real time and took
Yeah,
him
yeah.
out.
I was like, what? How do I not know this?
How did everybody not know that? You'd think
That's
they'd
what
be
he told me.
talking about it all
He's
year.
like, he's like, I was there. He's like, I was like, damn, okay, that's a great story.
That's
So
thought it was cool.
that's how Waller started his music career, because he had then felt comfortability within what the Raiders were doing and willing to support him. Waller is an amazing person, an amazing athlete. Everyone knows that a lot of every charity league that I'm competing in, all my donations are going towards mental health. So, bro, I love that you brought up Rackwall. Make sure y'all search y'all search Darren Waller on Instagram. Y'all show him love, and just like thank you, Jesse. Like, yeah.
No, that kid is a stud, man. And the cool thing about him is that you got to remember he doesn't have the wear and tear of most other players his age, because he took basically almost 3 years off.
3 years. Yep.
And he was a wide receiver.
But Jesse, think about the fucking offense that he learned in before he got with Gruden. Do you know how special it is to learn in a fucking, hardball Roman style?
Yeah, I mean,
like,
and he was on a couple different rosters, but I mean, the dude's talented. I mean, he is. I remember Nick Ercolano, BDG. Nick,
yo,
last
that's
year.
my homie. Yeah.
I remember him texting me, or I don't know. We were chatting. I don't remember how it played out, but it was like August, maybe something. It was like mid-August or maybe late. I'm sure I could find it in my text. And he goes, 2 words: draft Waller. That's all he said. That was like, we weren't even. It was just a random text. Like, it was just random.
That sounds like a Nick thing, though.
And I was like, that's some confidence right there. So
Yeah,
I
worked
mean,
out.
He studies just as much as I do, if not more.
Yeah.
And
y'all still working together, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we not as much this year. He's doing a lot of stuff with Underdog.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, so and he's just so busy with life. But
really quick. I know that you're about to say something else, but that's how long everyone's been working together. Like, that's how long, like, everyone's been working together. That's crazy. Go ahead and continue, my brother. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
that was it. No, that was it. I got to take off in a sec.
Yep. Yeah. Same here. Should we break down one more roster?
Sure. Who you want to run through?
Hey, yo, let's go ahead and let JT pick another member from let's do Anthony's roster. Anthony Dion.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do Anthony Dion, because his quarterback situation is intriguing.
So he went Kyler at 110, JT at 2.3, Najee at 3.3, Matty Ice at 4.10, Michael Thomas at 5.3, CeeDee Lamb at 6.10, Hunt, Robbie Anderson, Melvin Gordon, Jonnu Smith, Zach Wilson, and then he hit wide receiver crazy hard. Elijah Moore, Henry Ruggs, T.Y., A.J. Green, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Lazard. So, I mean, he's got a ton of back-end wide receivers, hoping 1 or 2 of them hit. I think St. Brown and Elijah Moore are his guys. And I love Michael Thomas this year.
I gotta say that on my rah, I'm on rah. That pick right there, like, that shit is insane to me.
He sniped me for him. I was targeting him, but he got him before I did.
Is it fair to say that he's probably the only St. Brown that's going to hit out of that family? Like the offense.
No. His brother is Equimius.
Yeah. But
he's definitely. I think he's more talented.
I think he's more talented if he takes it a little bit more serious.
So I think there's a decent chance he becomes the top wide receiver in that offense.
He is going to be the top receiver in that offense. I'm planting my flag on it. That's why I said the
I love to see Perriman ball out, but unfortunately, he hasn't been able to stay healthy.
Perriman's old now. Perriman's my age, bro.
He's not that old. He's 28.
Okay, so he's 2 years younger than me, man. Like
28 still prime wide receiver.
But bro, what Amon-Ra does at the high point, like So him and Josh Palmer before the draft, like I had them both at highest point catch, in terms of rating. Like they go up there and 80% of the time, they're snatching that ball down, and they're going up there and they're getting it at the highest rate of which that ball is thrown.
So here's
and I'm not wrong. It's gonna wrestle it down. It's just how willing he's hard to work. Like his work ethic is what bothers me.
So there's a couple things about his profile that are fascinating to me. He's a 5-star recruit.
Yeah,
not many of those, and he's from the West Coast, from Cali. But he went to Mater D.
Yep.
Now I can't think of many elite NFL players that went to Mater D. Or Day. I don't forget how it's pronounced. But then he had a couple monster seasons, but his sophomore season was his best season. But COVID kind of screwed a lot of things up. So it's hard to say, how some of these guys would have did. But overall, he has the potential to turn into that Cooper Kupp role.
Oh my gosh. Jesse, you did that on purpose. Oh my fucking God. All right. So my followers know that all right. So for all my followers, you all know that I point out Cooper Kupp when he first broke out onto the scene. That's so now that Doc is saying it, and you already know that I'm on the Amon fucking train.
You got a cool name too.
Yo, hey, Doc. You watch preseason film, right? Like
a little bit.
You have to. But you operate on these guys, so like you're always watching fucking goddamn everything. Like,
I follow a lot of stuff, but I don't get to watch a whole lot of film.
Are we all right, Doc?
I got to take off. I got placements in the morning.
I know. Doc, before we do everyone's sign offs, JT, Dr. Jesse Morris, are we planting our flag on Amon rah rah rah?
I got Perriman in like the 20th, so I can't. I gotta hope it goes the other way. But
I actually know Perriman personally. He's a good dude.
He is a good dude. I know Perriman. That's why I'm like.
So I don't know. I think it's probably going to be Hawkinson. That's what logic tells me is that he actually. I think Swift and Hawkinson are going to be the two, and then the wide receivers is going to fall where they may.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a dart throw, but somebody's going to come out. They're going to have a productive receiver. We just don't know who it is yet.
Yeah, I mean, watch it be Cephas.
Yeah, there you go.
Which would be kind of funny. But
I hate how the both of us have worked with so many different people, and sometimes some of the same people. So it makes it hard, like for me, a decision because, like, I like that person. I'm going on Mon. That is what it is. We're gonna go ahead and get into some outros. Doc, you mind if I remove your screen really quick?
Go ahead, you good.
We're gonna go ahead, nice and clean. I want to make sure that you see their faces and you understand who we are working with here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Doc, let the people know where they can find you. It's super important. They already know who you are. You're a celebrity in this industry at this point, but
I don't know if I go that far, but so check
I'll pull it up.
Where is it? Hold on.
Wait, you want to pull it down? Pull it down. Tell me when.
Go ahead. You good now?
All right. Yeah,
so this is what I've been working on for damn near 6 months. This is the non-PDF version of it. But if you have a question about an injury, there's a good chance I covered it in like the 120 something profiles, or however many there are that I covered. You can look at the Saquon one here. That one's free. Feel free to reach out to me. I might not give you the whole answer because I wrote about it, but I'm dropping a lot of content on my YouTube page. I hit a little over 3 million views last basically NFL season, around there. So I'm trying to double that this year. So I appreciate the follow, the watch. And actually, my last plug is for my new app. That really I haven't promoted yet because I have a couple kinks to work out. But what it is essentially Twitter for sports. I basically took all of the best fan analysts and experts and just for each sport, and I put them all in one app.
One hub, yeah.
And it's probably a 10-second, 20-second delay from their Twitter feed onto the app. It's called TFD.
That's good.
T.F.D.R.P. And then whenever there's breaking news.
Look at this motherfucker. Hold on. We're about to now keep this going.
Is.
We're now about to keep this going.
I figured y'all would still be going. What's up, Dr. Morse? JT,
what's going on?
Good.
What's up?
Robbie, it's good, bro.
You're fucking drinking with me now that you're here. You know that, right?
Man, I'm still under the weather a little bit, man. I'm only sipping on water tonight.
All right. Well, then cheers.
I'll be back.
So drink that water. Dan and I have got to know each other really well. So I'm sorry, Jesse. Continue, Jesse.
No, you're good. No, so that's all I got to say. I got to roll out. But you all have a good night. Thanks for everything. And we'll do this again soon.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to go as well, but I appreciate you guys letting me crash. Nothing to plug, but you can know me from Scott Fishbowl 11 Champion Circle, and we'll start there.
Hey, get on. Hey, if you ever want to drop some content, hot the Rumboyz. We got you.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot. It was fun.
Take care, guys.
Alrighty.
Let's see you guys.
Later, y'all. So Dan, I now have you on air, and that means I don't have to sign off.
I'll give you an excuse to drink more, bro. That's okay.
Oh, you're such a good friend. I love how like we've only worked together like one and a half times, and that's just automatically how it goes. I'm actually gonna go ahead and bring up your fantasy football roster. We talked about it a little bit.
Is the field scared? Because they should be.
Well, like you're here, so I'm allowed to like just like I don't have to be nice.
Nah, not at all. I want an honest critique. Somebody hit me on Twitter saying that I had like a top 10 squad within the conference 10. It was like me and JT were the only ones of our division that had that.
So you do. I actually don't have any jokes. We're actually the jokes are going to be on my staff or on my fucking squad versus yours. And it's just going to be sad as fuck. So, let me pull this up. All right, dog. My G. Why did you like? All right, so let's just start off with how you started it. Like, let's start off with where you began. Like, what was your thought process? Like, I have to get into your mom.
Yeah, I mean, my thought process. I mean, when Alvin Kamara fell to me at 12, I was like, okay, like even if this is gonna be a Taysom Hill regime, I don't think that it will. I think Jameis Winston has shown enough that, and in his ridiculous training videos, but I actually think he's gonna be their quarterback. He can throw downfield. You got to utilize Michael Thomas, Traquan Smith, Adam Troutman. I think he's gonna have a good season. I think that Alvin Kamara is like, he's a top 5 running back potentially. And for him to fall to me at 12 was just disrespectful. So I'll scoop up the value when I can, and then I flip that on round 2.
I love how you just said that shit so casually, by the way. Like, what the fuck?
No, bro, because I wasn't expecting it. Like when I was on the clock, I was like, "There's no way Alvin's gonna fall," but he did because people were reaching for other players that they liked, and you got to get your guy.
You got Alvin and what?
And I went Alvin, and I went Lamar. And in SFB, man, you got to get those quarterbacks that. And honestly, he doesn't turn over the ball that much. He had an off year last season relative to 2019, but I mean, all I saw was them load up on offense and commit to, giving him weapons. Sammy Watkins, Rashad Bateman. I think he's going to have a great season. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him throw more than he ever has, just to shift it up, because everyone's always expecting the run. But
Bro,
that
I've been saying that shit, but no one wants to fucking listen to me. I sound like a dumbass, bro.
You don't, because I think it's like, look at the Jedi mind tricks of the NFL, right? It's like every time someone starts zigging, someone's going to zag. Someone's going to zag. And I think everyone thinks that Jim Harbaugh is this guy, or John Harbaugh is the guy that's going to continue to run it down your throats. Now, don't get me wrong. They're going to run the ball, but don't think that Lamar Jackson's not going to get off a little bit more, because he's going to have more weapons besides Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown. Like, I think he's going to have a great season. So I was very excited to get him at number 2, plus the rushing upside, which he's always going to have. Like, that was a steal for me. And then that reversal, I took my reach guy, but I knew he wasn't going to come back to me.
Bitch.
It was. And that's where Jalen Hurts came in. Yeah, I mean, it was a bitch for me, because, I mean, I was like, you know what? I got to reach here. I wanted to get a wide receiver. I believe Justin Jefferson might have still been on the board, but I was like, you know what? Like, I think I could get a wide receiver later. And I was pretty fortunate to get A.J. Brown in the 4th. So I was cool with that.
I love how you say that you were pretty fucking fortunate, knowing damn well that, like, all right, I'm going to be real.
Dudes were falling to me, man. Like,
no. I watched too, and people in our division can say, I didn't watch a single thing. I didn't do a damn thing. I know that it wasn't you. I know for a fact that it wasn't you. I know who watched my content. I have receipts. I see you sneaky motherfuckers. Bro. And
I wasn't letting him get back to you, bro. He wasn't going to get back to you. Because, like, it's funny because there's so much content being produced nowadays that I think it's great for the community, because you can get a lot of different perspectives on who's high on who. I don't agree with all of them, but there's certainly a few that I'm like, yeah. And I think that you guys have a good platform where, you know, on Rumboyz, you guys are all differentiating opinions on things. And
oh, you mean the future platform that you're going to write on? Oh, that was a dick move. That was
little teaser.
That was dark. That was very dark of me. That wasn't even a teaser. Nothing has ever been fucking discussed. Nothing has ever been
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
But nah, man, I think that AJ Brown's gonna have a good season. I don't love him as my wide receiver 1, but I'm good with it. For what else I was stacking with, you know, to go in a super flex to get 2 quarterbacks, rushing quarterbacks, plus a receiving running back, plus, you know, AJ Brown. Like, I was feeling great after 4 rounds, man. And after that, I'm trying to remember who my next pick was. I want to say it was Myles Gaskin, which I think was like a solid backup running back. Oh wait, no, I'm lying. Sorry, I got DeAndre Swift.
Dude, and then I got really quick. I know that we're talking draft picks and shit here. Have you watched that fucking it's not a specific piece of content. Obviously, you have to do like your individual research. Have you seen Myles Gaskin versus Salvon Ahmed?
In terms of like what? In like training camp?
Like just in terms of like just watching their film and who's probably, in your opinion, better.
Yeah, Ahmad looked good.
Dude, Ahmad is a fucking monster, bro. Like, that is that dog.
He looked really good. And I mean, I think it's a testament to how good he looked, the fact that they didn't really beef up the backfield. I mean, most systems now are two running backs. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's fantasy relevant. You know, Myles Gaskin, he's kind of small. You know what I'm saying? He's not a big dude, but that doesn't mean to say that he's gonna be able to be a workhorse back. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, I wouldn't be surprised if
Myles
it's good value. It's good value. You should definitely scoop him up.
Myles Gaskin reminds me of the typical I can lift dude, you know. But like when I look at like fucking Garrett Dokes and like that fucking Salvon Ahmed, like I see straight dogs, bro. Like I see.
I like Dokes a lot. We were talking about that last week, man. I'm a big fan of Dokes, but he's more of a dynasty dude. Like I don't know that I'm gonna reach for him in redraft, but.
Yo,
you know I'm taking the starting running backs right now. And as far as I'm concerned, as like an insurance policy, I got him, Gus Edwards, And I think those are the main two guys, which I feel all right about because I'm really relying on Alvin and DeAndre Swift to handle the work.
Bro, for a SFB show, we are talking a lot about just like how we feel, man. I mean, honestly, like if you mind if I just go through a quick rapid fire of your lineup? I mean, it's up to you. Like you're with Fantasy Pros, I'm not. So I'm not the pro. Some people say that. Some people say I am. All right, dude. So I'm gonna just start off, and I'm gonna go position by position. So I'm gonna go POP. All right, dog. Your quarterback fucking room is crazy. All right, like if we're playing this shit on Madden, like if we're in fucking real life, like I'm fucking with everything with that. That running back room is even low key nasty.
Better hope that Zeke doesn't go down because if Tony Pollard gets them reps, oh boy, boy.
The way that you drafted reminded me of how I was trying to draft. Like, had I not, I'm gonna be honest. I opened my big ass mouth. I said, I'm a content creator. Here are my picks. People can say I wasn't listening to you, motherfucker. I had the receipts. I see when you fucking logged it. Like, shut the fuck up. Like every person from our practically every person fucking from our division. I can tell by whose roster, and I can pull the receipts of when they were watching. I got sniped from the Justin Jefferson shit.
Yeah, that one hurt. That one hurt. I was eyeing him too, man. I knew I had to reach, but I just couldn't do it where I did it. But where he did it, it was like, I'm saying Call of Duty Warzone, taking you out in the gulag, just
bro. So hey, tell me why that pick came off the board 30 minutes after I said that's what I was seeking next. I was like, I've already set it up. This is it. This is next.
Who was your fallback plan? Who did you wind up having to select as a result?
So I couldn't fucking do the AJ Brown triple stack because goddamn homie yeah. Did you get AJ Brown?
Yeah.
Fucking so like you were right there, but you play poker, right? I mean, we talked about like the whole gambling and strip club and shit. Like we're DJs, bro. When I showed my hand about the two quarterbacks that I had, that fucked me. It didn't matter if you watched my content or not.
Right.
The one person that did watch my content, well, he actually watched it a lot and sniped me a lot. A lot. But the fact that y'all played that smart of a motherfucking game.
Yeah, there's a lot of defense being played, right? Like preventing those stacks was really wise for. And when you scooped up Tannehill, I mean, I was actually hoping that that could be an insurance policy for me potentially, but you got him right. I think I want to say you got him second round.
Yeah,
I was hoping he was gonna be there for me because that was gonna be my number two quarterback.
But I knew I was playing. So to be honest, I knew that I had to complete as many positive point stacks as I could because I was playing against fantasy pros plus fantasy doctors. Like, yes, I have one of my writers that chose to compete against me, and they got, but I ain't going front. You and Jesse, that's it. Like, that's where it's like blood is drawn. Like I mean, I hope that really quick.
Your squad is straight, bro. You're still going to be competitive. I mean, a lot of things can happen. Injuries, depth chart movement.
If I lose to you in the arena, it is an honor.
But we're also in another. I know we're in a dynasty league together, so we're gonna have these battles.
Which one? The Who's League? The Who's League or?
Let me see. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Dynasty and Chill. Let me see.
Bro,
Which one?
I'm
And I
your
and I believe you sniped me quite a bit in that one.
well, I orphaned a team in that, so like I had to, you know.
But you built it really well. I'm trying to find the roster. Let me see.
Well, aside from that fucking Cam Akers shit that just happened,
I mean, but like you can't predict that shit.
I can't.
Dude,
Dude, I traded away Baker and OBJ and Jamal Williams for that. Like,
I mean, that's still a good trade though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not totally sold on OBJ anymore. Like, yeah, I mean, he might have a bounce back, but like if you have an opportunity to get a guy like Cam Akers, like you don't turn
hey
that
yo,
shit.
you're going to Canton, right?
Nah, I wish I could, man. I didn't book that shit early enough, and I got a 5-month-old, so I'm still tinkering that line of can I really be out here, or I want to be out here, but like wifey's not like, nah, you're not going anywhere.
So for
Sit your ass
those
down.
so for those that don't know, Dan and I have worked 2 weeks together now, back to back, and legitimately one of my favorite fucking people to work with. Like,
Fuck with
legitimately,
you,
like,
bro.
but like it's weird. Like,
Beyond Canton, don't worry, we'll link up, man.
exactly.
I'm definitely gonna. We're
Like
gonna link up.
you're the fucking fantasy pros, bro. Like, and who am I? Like,
dude, it's crazy out here. Like, you'd be surprised who's an expert. It's interesting, man. I've been playing fantasy football since I was probably 14 years old. I'm 35, so
yes,
I've been doing this for a long time, man. And it started out with basketball, and I've been doing football for just as long. So, I mean, this is honestly just a passion project that became seemingly a job, man. So I think we're in the biz, and like you're an expert just the same, man. You're looking at more numbers than most of these cats out here. So with the frequency of drafting, the connections and networking that you're doing with people in the industry, constantly talking about it, you know what I'm saying? You're a leg up on a lot of people. So don't discredit that.
No, I just wish that like I got to. It took fucking Scott. You know how fucked up it is that it took this shit. It took this to happen. All right, in order for us to get to know each other, and that's bullshit. That's bullshit, bro.
Right. Yeah, but I was DMing you a while ago, just when I came up across your content, probably like mid-pandemic, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get on the show eventually, but I was like doing basketball shit, so I wasn't really focused on anything NFL.
All right, you know, we're already on air, so like it doesn't fucking matter. So like, fuck it, like I can run any question that I want. Why? It's my content and my network, so I can do what I want.
You're CEO, bro.
Exactly.
The checks.
Like. So, what inspired you to like? Because you're a really great writer. Like you're one of those you're one of those guys. Like you're one of those, you know, like who when I write, I look at like old school Washington Post, like Pat Wilbon and shit, you know, like who was that person that was like, nigga, I can do better than you.
That's interesting. Truth be told, I hate writing.
What?
Can't stand it. I could podcast.
I mean, I hate writing, but I'm good at it.
I don't think I'm good at it at all. I just know that if I was to read something, I want it to be concise, to the point, make me make something, an actionable decision after it. And so I try not to write anything over 1,000 words, man. That's just too much. I don't have I'm not going to go seeking out that information. So like if I'm on the other side of the table, I'm like, give me this shit in like in 200 words. What do I need to do and why? So that's kind of like my ethos of how I'm writing. But like, honestly, I much rather talk about it than write about it. And the only reason I started with the writing was because that's the only way to get in the door. Like, no one was really doing podcast stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like, I had to take the traditional route.
Are you gonna be mad at me?
Hindsight's 2020 though. If you started out doing
this,
right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I much rather take that path.
That's why I asked. Yeah. Like, are you gonna be mad at me? Like, so I'm gonna be real, you know. You don't have to start off writing. Now, is writing I appreciate you for writing because, like, all right. Like the same thing that I said on the podcast that I just aired with Casey Kasem on Get Real. I'm gonna say right here, bro. Like there's little niggas right now in Southeast DC. I can say that because it's on my show. There's little niggas right now in Southeast DC that are like, yo, you inspire me. You know, yo, you're doing it. You know, people that look like us. When I tell you this shit, this is not bragging. This is not cocky. This is not. I can. These are real messages that I get sent.
I believe it. I mean, look at if you're looking at Yahoo or Fantasy Pros or looking at literally any other article or featured fantasy asset or outlet, it ain't represented by us at all. No. And I still question whether there's still a place for it. I think they're starting to open up some doors. I've seen now more energy and attention because like honestly, it's the flavor of the month, so to speak.
Yes,
but how do we make it stick? You know what I mean? Like we got to become the martyrs, if you will, to like of a changing dynamic of like what representation looks like in fantasy and gambling. Like there's not a lot of people that have been given opportunities to get a platform, and we've been forced, like in many hands, to create your own platform to do it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I think there's going to be a lot of equity in the fact that you're building this yourself, and other people, creators like you, are going to get inspired because you're already laying the foundation. Like, yo, this can be done. And I know JL is a huge he's a huge advocate for doing it yourself first. Like, don't use the big brands. I think the big brands help, but ultimately you're gonna learn way more if you do it on your own. It's just a matter of whether you have the time to be able to do it. And you know what I'm saying, like, some people aren't fortunate enough to be able to do that. Like, you know, whether it be jobs.
Like I'd be stupid to say like I'd be stupid to be like and say, you know, I'm not grateful for the opportunities that these people have given me. No, I'm fucking grateful for Pat Fitzmaurice. I'm grateful for fucking Marcus Grant. Like, I'm grateful for every single person that has ever been a mentor to me. But I'm grateful that they respect me enough to showcase my brand.
Yeah.
And bring people to my shit and still function with me and still follow me. And like, honestly, like even coming from like you know, like Pat, like, you know, him just being like, you know, when everything happened last summer and him being like, no, like, we're going to start supporting Black creators. You know, him as a white dude, you know, doing that, like, that fucking means a lot, you know? Fucking.
I mean, I appreciate the honesty and transparency to say it straight up like that. Like, don't make it an initiative for
yeah.
Don't make it a moment. You know what I mean? Like, commit to it. You want to invest in Black people and Black communities, then fucking say it and show something with it. Like, what, you coming with money with it? Like, you got a squad that you can bring on? Like, let me know. I'll help fucking do some of the outreach that we need to do to lift this shit up, because I think that the pandemic really opened it up, man. Like, the pandemic opened it up. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more attention and energy being placed to different content creators that creates a different experience and community. Like, I don't know. I think I got kind of tired of looking at the traditional projections, rankings. I did all that shit just to kind of give myself some tired validation, so to speak, but that ain't everything now.
I ain't going front. I've been in this industry 4 years. There are certain deals and certain things that I made to give me the validation. But once the people that I looked up to started giving me the validation, I didn't need it anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't.
You don't. Yeah. Your brand speaks for itself now. Like, people are checking for you. You're not checking for them. And that's like that's the equity that you built, is that you have your own community that checks for you. And ultimately, we'll watch how the dynamic and the demographics of fantasy sports and gaming changes over time. It's not going to be the suits and, you know, the guys that are, you know what I'm saying, like, corny as shit, no personality, like the nerds. I need to work with you on a bigger level than me interviewing. This is the second time that I have gotten this opportunity. Like, I'm gonna keep on, my nigga. I can chop up the last conversation and this conversation, and we could have a whole ass podcast. I got ideas, man, and I think we could have our own coalition, so to speak, of how to really shape a different.
Your boss
diverse-
probably pissed.
I mean, I might be a silent partner for the time being, but yeah, I mean, I think there's still an opportunity for us to really talk
No.
about this shit and really map out a plan of like really what we want this to look like, because I think it's time that we got to see at the table.
There's a all right. It's a $9 billion industry. Only 1% of the careers are touching $1. At the maximum, careers touching at least $1,500K per agreement that they make, which is not a whole lot. They have to make multiple amounts of those agreements in order for them to touch a good couple amount of stat.
Preach.
$9 billion. Why the fuck is there not more people getting paid to do advertising and read your ads and hi, I'm so and so with DraftKings? Nah, that should be fucking happening for a bigger bag than what the fuck you're providing.
I mean, how often do writers and all them even see any of those ad dollars and the
They
affiliate
don't
dollars?
because
Never.
we're not, but because we are not cultured enough. We're not conditioned enough. Conditioned is a proper word. Trained is a proper word to demand our own. Sponsors are probably hearing this right now and they're like, fuck, he's caught on.
Until Corona calls you, it's like, Robbie, I think I want to make you a deal. You get how many viewers each week?
That was smart.
You can't push that.
Yeah, like I just started crying. Like, yeah. No, bro. Like, but it's straight up. I mean, and since I've known you, you've been mentoring me in that direction. You've altered my mind of thinking, and that's beautiful because if you're already thinking that way, I have the ability to progress that way. My nigga, fucking leave. Like, let's go. Like,
we're not the only ones. So, like,
I said too much. I did it too much.
But I ain't gonna be writing shit. I'll write proposals and stuff like that. But I ain't write no articles. But now we'll put this. We'll put something together.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Hold on, really quick. For those that work in sales, ain't nothing like writing a goddamn proposal. And
another thing I fucking hate.
And knowing, hold on, but hey, if you know that shit is gonna close, it's so dirty. You get the stank face and you just sit back and watch that motherfucker just read it. Just like get it, like bro. I'm sorry. Hey, I've done this way too long. I'm 30 years old now, bro. Hey yo, we done broke down the Tupac division. We done talk about so much shit. This is Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Cheers to me, cheers to you all the Rumboyz and girls want to do. Dilly dilly. I'm ending this broadcast because we about to fucking talk and have some drinks, like off air. Like fuck y'all.